It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another video for The Last of Us on HBO. We're going to be talking about the upcoming Last of Us Season 2, which is going to adapt part 2 of the video game. As someone who's played the game, I've got a few predictions and theories about how they're going to adapt the story to the small screen. What I'm going to use in my theories and my predictions is what they've already done in Season 1 and also what they have teased about Season 2 of the show already. Before we get started though, just a quick spoiler warning for those who haven't played the game yet, part 2 I mean, because obviously I will be going through some details from the game, so if you haven't played, this video will definitely have spoilers in it. So with that, stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. I think one of the biggest changes we're gonna see in the TV show is a slower reveal of Abby's intentions and connections to Joel and Ellie. In the game, we're thrown right into her story and motivations, but I think the show will tease this over several episodes, letting us get to know Abby before we fully understand her role in the story. And as part of that, I feel like Abby will get more focus in the TV show than she did in the game. I think we're gonna see things from Abby's perspective a lot more than the game, especially in the beginning of the season, where we're likely gonna get more backstory on her time with the WLF and what drove her to kind of join that group and everything that goes on with joining a group like that. Another prediction I have is that the season will end on a cliffhanger, with Abby confronting Joel and revealing her connection to him and Ellie. So that big moment from part 2 of the game that leads to one of the biggest devastating scenes of the series will probably not happen until further in the season. I feel like this scene will be a pivotal moment in the story, just like in the game. But with that said, I don't think that we'll see the actual attack on Joel until the next season, which would be the 3rd season of the series. I think instead the season will end with Abby realizing who Joel is and the tension between the two characters coming to a head. But that pivotal moment will be left as sort of a cliffhanger, or maybe not a cliffhanger where you don't know if he was dead or not, but more in a way where you don't actually see the full-on attack until the next season. But I feel like before we get to this big moment, the show will insert some new story that wasn't in the game. We'll likely see Joel telling Ellie the truth about what happened in Salt Lake City, just like the game. We're probably gonna see the museum flashbacks between Joel and Ellie near the end of the season, just to have the impact of what happens to Joel at the end be even greater. And I think this is gonna give us insight into Ellie and Joel's relationship and setting the stage for the events to come. And I feel like when we return to the Abby and Joel confrontation, which will probably happen either near the end of the season, right at the end, or they might leave it as sort of like a cliffhanger for the next season, but I feel like the show is gonna change the way that Joel dies. It's still gonna be brutal, but I feel like it's not gonna be as sudden, and it's not gonna be over in an instant. In the show, I think they're gonna draw it out a bit more, making it a more emotionally charged moment that really hits home for the audience. Another prediction that I have is, even though I am saying Joel's death is gonna come near the end of the season, and that's obviously assuming we're gonna see the death itself, they might keep that until a big scene to start the next season. Even with that, I feel like Joel is still not gonna get as much focus in the story, just like the way it worked in the game. Because in the game, we didn't really see quite as much of Joel in part 2. Now, I'm not saying that's what I want to see, but I feel like based on everything that's been discussed, that's probably what we are gonna see. And I feel like instead the focus will be on Ellie and her journey for revenge, even in season 2, like early on. Because even though I am saying Joel's death is gonna be at the end, I feel like they're gonna play with time quite heavily, and we're gonna have a lot of flashbacks and a lot of jumping around in the timeline, and we're actually gonna see Ellie on her journey for revenge, but we're not gonna know who she's seeking revenge for and what she's after until the end. And this revenge story is obviously gonna be the driving force behind the show's plot, pretty heavily in season 2, like I said, but significantly in season 3. And there you have it. Those are my predictions and theories for The Last of Us season 2, which is going to adapt part 2 of the video game. Of course, we won't know for sure how it'll play out until we see it on the screen, but I'm excited to see what the writers and producers have in store for us. Let me know in the comments what you think of my predictions and if you have any of your own. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.